Welcome to Inside Spring Football on Main Street TV. Hi, I'm your host, Ralph Miranda. Today we're at Gatlinburg-Pittman High School to visit with the Highlanders and their head football coach, Coach Derek Rang. Coach, it's great to see you again.
Ralph, thanks for coming up. Thanks for having me.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Now, you're entering your third year as head coach here at Gatlinburg-Pittman. I want to talk a little bit about last season first in this segment. You guys got off to a pretty fast start last year. I think you were 6-2 at one time.
Yeah,
or somewhere.
6-2, 6-1.
Okay, all right. And then, of course, you ran into some pretty tough teams and some challenging teams. And I know your numbers are probably not as good as some of the other teams. So let's talk a little bit about last season. What are some of the things you were pleased with, and what are some of the things that you hope you do better this year?
Last year, I think one thing we were pleased with was the way we started. And we started 6-1, and the one loss we had was to Oneida, and I felt like we just made a lot of mistakes. It wasn't like they were that much better than us. We just gave them some plays and made some mistakes that helped them take control of that game. And we started 6-1 and went down to Austin East and played a really tough physical game. We were up by 3 in the fourth quarter. We could not close that out. And then that led to us playing Alcoa, which was a tough one for us. So we were 6-3 at that point.
Right.
And then we ended up going down and losing to Kingston to finish 6-4, and we were the 4 seed. And we kind of rebounded to win the first round game against Johnson County. And then went back down to AE and lost in a blowout in the second round. And I was a little disappointed in the way we finished. I think we started out 6-2, like you said, and we're all competitive games.
Right.
And then we just didn't finish well enough. And I think the group we have coming back, we got a lot of kids back, and I think they realize that and say, now we got to really stay focused throughout the whole season, because at one point we were 6-1 and we were right there on the cusp of getting in the AP poll. We were, I think, the number 11th or 12th team in that voting, and then just kind of sputtered down the stretch.
Right.
So we're working hard, had a good off season, and I think this group has a little bit different mentality as far as wanting to make a deep playoff run and finish the year out strong.
How much of last year, you talked about that tough physical game with Austin East where you guys were ahead by 3 in the fourth quarter, and then you had to turn around and play Alcoa after that. How much of that loss do you think carried over into that Alcoa game?
Well, I mean, the AE game was a tough game.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of guys go out with injuries, and it just was a hard-hitting high school football game, and they were good. I mean, they were a good football team. Coach Phillips does a great job down there. And, we had the bye week, and then, when you're playing a team like Alcoa, I mean, there's no room for error. I mean, you're having to really make sure that you dot all the I's and cross all the T's. And they do have an advantage as far as we go in terms of their depth and their roster size. So we're having to play guys both ways. And, it's just one of those things. I think we got a little bit beat up, and, we're trying to find a way to build depth and kind of, scheme some things up to where hopefully we can keep guys fresher throughout the whole season. But, it sounds great on paper, but sometimes when you get in high school football games, you just got to try to win.
Right.
So we'll kind of see how that goes into this year, but we do have a lot of kids back.
I know that one of the things every coach does, and I'm sure you do it as well, when the season's over, you take some time to evaluate the season, look at each game, look at your kids. So what are some of the things you talked about finishing or starting well? That was one of the things you were pleased with. But what were some of the things that you said, hey, we did this pretty well through the season, and then what are some of the other things you say, well, we've got to get better at that next year?
Well, I think one thing we did really well through the first part of the season was we just played really good complementary football. We were good on offense, defense, and special teams, and it just felt like we played good complementary football. And I think as the season went on, we just kind of lost that a little bit, because I know against Austin East we had give up 5 explosive plays, and that was one of the things that we emphasized with them was we can't do that. And then against Alcoa, we just they would drive the ball and we never could get anything going, and it was some short fields, and that kind of snowballed on us. And then then against Kingston, it was just kind of a bad game all the way around.
Right.
We could never get them off the field, and then we could never really finish drives. We had the ball 5 times inside their 20 and came away with 7 points. So it just those things right there are just things that we can't do.
Right.
And that's one thing that I was a little disappointed with, was just as the season went on, it just seems like we kind of lost our edge a little bit. And I don't know if obviously the schedule was tougher, but I think our kids, had the ability to finish the year a little bit better than they did. And, they know it, but, ultimately we still won the playoff game and got a chance to go back down to AE for round 2, and then, got down really quick to them. It was, 24-0 in the second quarter.
Right.
We weren't built to come back from our big thing last year was to kind of ground and pound.
Right.
see if we control the game. We just weren't built to come back. So, we've been working a lot on, offensively, our throw game and run game, making sure they're complementary. Defensively, tweaked a few things that may help us out in a game like Austin East or, a game like Kingston.
Right.
So that's what we're using spring practice for, see how those tweaks look on practice and look on film and then look in the scrimmage.
Make sure you stay with us. When we come back, we'll have more from Gatlinburg-Pittman High School as we visit with the Highlanders on Inside Spring Football on Main Street TV.
Make plays, get physical, get yourselves better. When the whistle blows, we're in NDO. We want all quarterbacks and receivers down here. Everybody got it? Let's go. Let's go. QBs, receivers, let's go. Good, okay, good. Here, just pat and go. Guys, pat and go, nice rhythm, right? Come on, pat and go, nice rhythm. You catch the ball, you want to jog it down to JD, okay? Here we go, pat and go, rhythm balls. Go. Good, no balls on the ground. Go! There we go. Good. There we go. We're going to try running a rolling out, okay? So my inside leg's up. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th step, roll it over and get to the sideline. Okay, so sell the vertical stem. It's kind of like a hitch, but you got to roll it over to the sideline. You can mix up your sprint out and drop back. Inside guys have a 10 out, same thing, okay? Mix up your sprint out and drop back. Hey, just relax. Good, bang the bubble. Good, there we go, bang the bubble. Okay, inside guys have an outside release seam shot. Bang it 12 yards. Let's bang it. Now bang it. Bang it! There you go, good. That's a good throw right there. Good throw. Liam, get up there. There she is. Runs the ball. Now. There she is. Good ball. As fast as you can run. Go, flick it. Turn around the hump. Run through it. Good, there you go, good. Attaboy. Good job, good adjustment through there. Come in front. Run through it. Don't stop. Good, you run through that. Run through it. And we just want rhythm, right? We want rhythm right here. This is execution. We're going against fit shields. Listen, we want you to see you linemen hit the fit shield, run your feet, stay off the ground. Listen, stay off the ground. You just tag up ball carriers, right? Stay off the ground right now. We're going to unleash you here in a second. But you just stay off the ground. If you're holding a shield, good job. Just stay firm. You're going to turn it into a post out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to explode to 10. I'm going to go 1, 2, then plant and roll it back out. So it's a 10, 2 to a roll back out. Hey, inside routes have cops. 10, 2, back to the goalpost, right? Hey, you go 1, 2, then step on it. Don't hesitate. Good. Cut it! Good, there we go. Good, jog it back. Good job, jog it back. Okay, come on now, move now. You guys wearing the fit shields, move. Have eyes. Good. Good, Pierce. Good. Good. Down. Good. Good cut. Good cut, Bryce. Run your feet.
You got the outside linebacker. Hunter's trapping.
Hey, there you go. Now, there he is. That one you got to shoot. Hey, run that again. You got to stick with that one there because you see him getting off the hash like that. We got to rip it.
Hey, nice play, Wade.
Good job, Hoop. Hey, run it again. Now. There you go. Good. Good. That safety is the indicator. If he stutter steps or breaks a little bit, you can lead him. But You guys having to play 2 huddles, absolute best thing for you. Absolute best thing for you. You're getting double the reps. You're getting 2 times as better.
Welcome back to Inside Spring Football on Main Street TV. We're at Gatlinburg-Pittman High School today to visit with the Highlanders and Coach Derek Rang. And Coach, in the last segment we talked about last year, that's put to bed, it's done, it's over. Let's talk about 2019. You guys are in the middle of spring practice. First, let's talk a little bit about your schedule. I know it'll probably be similar. Will you play the same non-region games as you played last year?
Well, I mean, the region is going to be the same, as just home and away's flipped.
Okay.
Actually, in non-region, we're playing two the same and 2 different.
Okay.
We're keeping Hampton on the schedule to open the season, and then we're playing Cott County now,
Okay.
which is a close game to us in Newport. It'll be a great game.
It will be.
Game.
Yeah.
And then we're also picking up Kings Academy,
Okay.
which Kings Academy knows is a Sevier County game.
Yeah.
And then we're keeping Trinity. We play Trinity for homecoming. So we got 4 non-region games. We're keeping 2 of them. We got 2 new ones. Then of course the region schedule is the same.
So last year you had a pretty good season. I mean, you guys played 2 playoff games. You won a playoff game. You were 7-5. So let's talk about this season. Let's talk about personnel losses that were key and some guys that you're hoping are going to step up.
Well, as far as we have about 16 to 17 guys back that started a game for us.
Oh, good.
Our quarterback's back. Both of our running backs are back. We got our whole receiving core back. We have 3 offensive linemen back. Defense, really what we've lost from a standpoint on paper is we've lost a couple inside linebackers that were seniors.
Right.
And, both those guys just moved positions.
Right.
So, they only played 1 year. They just did a great job of giving great effort and, being senior leaders. But pretty much we have a lot of guys back in the program. And, so we feel like, we're going to lose Colton, our center. Has an opportunity to continue, his football career at ETSU. He'll be a tough loss. We lost, outside linebacker, Hayden Prophet, who's going to play at Carson Newman. That'll be a tough loss for us. But we feel like we have so many guys back that have played for us, had a great offseason in the weight room. You've been out here with some big kids.
Sure, yeah.
They're doing a real good job with practice and being physical. So we're excited about this year. We really feel like that we have a really good football team and a lot of guys back that have developed their bodies. And, I think, on paper, assuming we say injury-free, I think we're ready to make some noise in this region. And we have AE at our place on Rivalry Thursday, which is a game that Knoxville Station picked up.
Right.
So we feel like there's a lot of excitement right here about this season.
Let's talk a little bit. You mentioned in our first segment together that you guys were really not built to come back from 24-0. And watching some of your practice, you got some really big linemen, and I know you probably want to run the ball first. That's kind of the key. Control the line of scrimmage. Is that something that you're going to do again this year?
Well, what we would like to do would be, I think in high school football, kind of goes back to, playing at Maryville, is you want to be able to run it and throw it.
Right.
And I think the best teams can run it and throw it, but also have the threat to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to run the ball quite a bit. Teams are going to know that, but also we feel like the way the quarterback and receivers have worked, that we're going to have to throw it some too, and those guys did a good job. So I guess balance is our thing, and really the big thing we want to do is make sure that our guys that need to touch the ball touch it.
Right.
And so it's right now. I mean, we would like to be be able to team that can run the ball and beat you, and throw it and beat you if we get a light box, and if we get a heavy box, we can throw it to keep them honest. So that's kind of what we've been working on, is being balanced in practice. So that's kind of what we're aiming at. But we're going to run the football here.
Sure.
And that's how you win playoff games.
Exactly.
You have to run the football, especially when the weather gets cold. And we'll do our fair amount of run game, but it's fun when you get everybody involved.
And on the flip side, in the playoffs, you got to be able to stop the run. I mean,
do.
so talk a little bit about your defense. What is the philosophy of your defense?
Well, I guess the biggest thing defensively is we have some big kids. So the guys that are playing offensive line for a school our size are also playing defensive line.
Right.
So it's like you said, the biggest thing that we want to do is stop the run. We're looking at a couple different things we can do on defensively to maximize our personnel. And then as far as coverage goes, we feel like our secondary is going to be a strength. So last year we were primarily a 1 safety cover 3 team, and now we're kind of jumping into being more of a 2 high team to play more, I guess, more of a variation of cover 2.
Right.
So that's what we're doing in spring. And but you're right. Defensive football, especially in our region and playoffs, you got to stop the run and kind of rally to the pass, as we say.
Yeah.
And if we can shut down the big thing was last year, it's kind of like we said, the games that we kind of shut down the run, we were really successful in. And the game we lost to Oneida, they ran for 230 in the second half on us,
right,
based off missed tackles. And so we've really tried to work on our tackling technique. And then in the playoff game against Austin East, they come out and ran the ball like crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stop the run to win, and we've been, we feel good about doing that, especially with the guys that we have back.
Last question, in spring football, when you're in the springtime, do you guys try to just work on fundamentals and getting better at what you do, or do you mix in a little bit about looking at some of the teams that you're going to play?
Well, we work a lot on fundamentals and just stuff that we see if it fits. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we're doing right now on both sides of the ball that's different than last year. And I think if you just do the same stuff every year, regardless of what your personnel is, that's kind of when you run into some problems.
Right.
So we're just kind of looking at some things that I guess when you when you put a puzzle together, we make sure all the pieces fit.
Right.
And so we're doing some experimental stuff. We're just kind of looking at some stuff, see how it looks on film. But it's tweaks.
Right.
It's nothing wholesale. But you're right. A lot of fundamental work, and then a lot of stuff that you just want to see how it's going to fit. Because the kids have been with us now for going into my third year.
Right.
They know some different stuff that we've done already, and especially with many guys back as we have in the program.
Right.
So spring ball is a good time, like I said, to look at some different things scheme wise, and then but you're still, we're still doing fundamentals like crazy. So.
Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate you being on with us.
Thanks, Ralph.
Coach Derek Rang, head football coach of the Gatlinburg-Pittman Highlanders. He goes into his third season. The Highlanders had a very successful season last year, and they're looking for another one in 2019. Make sure you stay with us. We'll have more when we come back on Inside Spring Football on Main Street TV. Welcome back to Inside Spring Football on Main Street TV. We're here at Gatlinburg-Pittman High School today to visit with the Highlanders, and I'm joined now by their quarterback, J.D. Schultz. And J.D., thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
J.D., now this is you'll be going into your third year as a starter here. So real quick, I want you to tell our viewers, how different was it today? How different is it today from when you were a sophomore and you stepped on the field for your first game? What were some of the emotions at that time?
In my first game, it was probably the most nervous I think I've ever been in my life, and I really started out pretty sluggish just because I was so tense.
Right.
But then as the second half came on, got pretty loose, and we started throwing the ball a little bit. And compared to now, I would say it's not anything at all now. It's just normal to go out and lead the huddle and do usually what we do.
Do you feel now that you're in your third year or about to start your third year, sometimes I'm sure the coach still sends in the plays, doesn't he?
Yes.
Do you sometimes find that you are already anticipating what he's going to send in because
Yes,
you know the offense so well?
I can most of the time tell what we're about to run just by the way the game's going, or what player is hot at that time, or which lineman is dominating their opponent. So it's pretty easy to get his concepts down and get everything rolling.
What are some of the things that you personally have been working on this offseason to get ready for next year?
Just overall strength. Last year, had a shoulder injury. I wasn't out any games, but it was bothering me. Just my overall strength and being able to throw the ball better out of the pocket.
Now, you're going to be a senior this coming season, so obviously the mantle of leadership comes on you guys that are seniors. Talk to me a little bit about what you would like to do as a senior. What are some of the things that you feel will make you a good leader and help this team coming forward?
Well, since I play quarterback, just always command the huddle, and always make sure we're always in the huddle, not everywhere on the field. And just as a team, we want to dominate every game that we play in, and we play on TV. Against Austin East this year.
Right.
We lost them by 11 last year, and we really want to come out and whenever we play them, come out and just show them that we can play with them, and we really want to win that game. That's a big goal.
I would imagine as a quarterback too, you and the coach have to have a certain relationship, because you probably see things on the field from time to time, and you say, "Hey, coach, look, I think we can do this, or I think we can do that."
Sir.
Is that right?
Yes, that's very true. Me and Coach Rang have a very good relationship.
So now this will be your last year coming up, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but would you like to play college football?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
I would. I have interest from a few colleges right
Good, good, okay. Well, JD, thank you for your time. I wish you the best of luck this coming season. JD Schultz, quarterback, Gatlinburg-Pittman High School. Stay with us. We'll have more on Inside Spring Football from Gatlinburg-Pittman on Main Street TV. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Inside Spring Football from Gatlinburg-Pittman High School as we visited with the Highlanders. We talked to Coach Derek Rang a little bit about their great season last year and their upcoming season this year. We talked to their quarterback, J.D. Schultz, about his third year coming up starting as quarterback. Again, we hope you enjoyed it. There was lots of footage, a little bit of Derek Rang coaching his players here today in their first day in pads. Hey, check us out. I'm sure if you're watching this, you're watching Main Street TV on YouTube. Give us a like, hit it, and tell us you like us. Subscribe to the channel as well, and we hope you enjoy this episode and many more to come. So for Main Street TV, for Coach Derek Rang and his Highlanders, I'm Ralph Miranda, and this has been Inside Spring Football. We'll see you next time.